Here are my Travis Scott Fragment 1 lows. I've been wearing these religiously for the last year. Let's talk about it. Hands down, my most worn Jordan in the last year. Like, I have worn these pretty much everywhere. They go with essentially every fit that I wear. So nice. Had to cop them twice. We're just gonna touch the brand new pair because knows where the other pair has been. So loving these. Some things you got to know. Honestly, I think they run a little bit big. I could have went with an 11.5. I'm fine with true to size. It doesn't bother me at all, but I do notice there's a little bit of room. You know, in term, I've worn them all day and they've been extremely comfortable and haven't had any issues with them. So if that really bothers you, go down half a size, maybe even try on some Jordan 1 lows if you haven't, but I went true to size, fine for me. Now, honestly, this is probably the hype beast of all hype beast shoes in a while. I love collaborations. Really, it's not even that it's super limited. It's not like people are like, oh, I mean, low-key occasionally people are like, oh, I see you with the Travises, and you're like, yeah, you know what I mean? But for the most part, I just love the shoe, man. It just goes with pretty much everything. I love kind of the different tones with your royal blue, your black, that off-white like cream color you have, and then just the small little details. It kind of like takes me even into like my Air Forces. I love the all-white Air Force, but I like to have different variations of it because it's like everyone has the same simple all-white Air Force and it's clean, but I like to have it with some little pizzazz, you know, whether it's an acronym collab or a John Elliot or Billie Eilish. Like, I just love that kind of stuff. So aside from these, you know, being the Fragment collab, I wasn't able to get the high top fragment, so when the lows came out, I was all over it. Now, the materials on this shoe are honestly phenomenal. That's another huge reason of why I love it. This is just a quality pair of shoes. I've put these through the ringer, wore them in the rain, the snow, the sunshine, and yeah, they're dirty. I could clean them up and they'd be looking brand new. Extremely durable, very versatile, and the way they broke in, like, I don't know if it's like these insoles that they got in here or what the deal is, but man, I don't know what it is. I have a bunch of other like just regular Jordan 1 lows, but for some reason this collab is so much more comfortable than like your standard pair. It's almost been disappointing. Like, the only other pair that I found like somewhat comfortable is the neutral gray ones, but they still just don't hit like the Travises. And that's honestly why I haven't even pulled these bad boys out. Probably soon. I need to do the review first, but the all black pair, I'm so excited to wear these just because I'm assuming that they should be as comfortable. Now, they do have like this wool material in them, and we'll talk about that in another video, but I just thought I'd bring them out. Like, I love just the simple embroidery details, like executed very well. I wasn't like a crazy fan of the olive pair that came out, and if we're being honest, this pair, hands down, the Fragments are the best collaboration to come out so far for me personally. What does suck is if you do want to pick these up, they're going to run you around like $1,100, $1,200. I was able to scoop one pair for retail and I paid $650 for the other. That's probably the highest I would go. At that price point of $1,200 plus, I don't think it's worth it. Now, if money's just burning a hole in your pocket and you want them so bad and they're a holy grail of yours, man, I would just trade my way up or just buy shoes. Or here's a little strategy for you. This is what I would do. This is how I typically, when I like really want a sneaker and I'll hustle for it. You know what I mean? I'll try to hit on every sneaker that's like worth some money on the app. I'll sell it, pocket that change, and like I'll set up an account to build up a fund. So it's almost like I got that sneaker for essentially retail. You know what I mean? I'll just wait. And that's the hard thing. Like, patience in this instance didn't save pockets. Like, typically you can wait, but this is one of those shoes that, I mean, realistically, they're not going to come out again. It's just going to be highly sought after and the price will realistically keep going up. And also, I'm like super worried because shoes like this are replicated so good that it's like, do you really want to take the risk of spending thousands, like a grand for a shoe and not knowing it's real? That worries me these days, man. It's so like, typically if I really do miss out on a shoe, I'm just like, you know what? Forget about it, because if it doesn't just fall into my hands, I'm not going to pay resale for it, because the fakes are so good now that it's just like, I don't trust anyone. I don't trust any of these apps. I don't trust any of these authenticators. Yeah, they're supposedly the best and there's different ways to tell, but I've seen some of these top tiers, man, and it worries me a lot. But obviously there are like sites that you know are always on point with things like Flight Club. Typically there's a lot of like local boutiques that have them that are the real deal. That's like my biggest worry with this whole sneaker thing now. If you do pick them up, man, they're fire. I love them. Like I said, it's been like my go-to shoe. It's one of those things that, you know, if you do splurge, you do pick them up, realistically you'll wear them so much that it could be worth it in the end. They held up really well. I feel like I have nothing but positive things to say about them. Let me know down below what your favorite Travis 1 low is so far, and if you guys would like to see some more soon. But this is your boy Sneaker Life. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Run it.
Hands in the air now.